Hello, everybody.
Hey.
All right. Well, today is Sunday, February the 16th, 2025. Welcome to the Mikestand. Of course, Sundays are now our weekly look back through comics history. So before we get into all that, let me introduce my co-host and let him, do his shtick here. My 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 co-host for the evening, Rick Piper from Cross Comics. Rick, you want to take away your go with your introduction, all that?
Well, as Mike said, I am Rick Piper of Cross Comics, which is a faith-based comic company. I have three comic books that I've produced, and I do have another channel called Piper of Hamilton, which I do snack videos, some movie reviews, TV show reviews, and episodes. Like Watchmen. Reaction videos is more like it, and do some video gaming. And here's a link to one of my latest snack videos over on that channel. So yeah, so if you want, go check that out. Like, subscribe, and later I will put up a link to one of my latest videos on my Cost Comics, and hopefully you will check that out. So I guess that's about it for me for now.
All right. So then, with all that being said, why don't we go ahead and get started with the readings of the material at hand here, since I can pull that stuff up here. So this week, of course, we are going through comics went on sale from Standard Comics in April of 1940. Thrilling
So this
Comics
should
number
be a pretty standard read through.
5. Always with the puns there, my friend.
Be with puns? Never. Oh, more like all the time.
Yeah. Thrilling comics featuring a complete Doctor Strange action adventure.
Doctor
This
Strange.
that was
Isn't
the
this a
only
little
reason.
early for Doctor Strange?
Well,
That's
no,
the wrong company?
if you remember, Rick, this is, even though he has the name Doctor Hugo Strange here, there's a different Doctor Strange than what we're thinking of.
Yeah, I
Remember,
know.
remember this is the guy when we first looked at him. He had like 32 pages. We couldn't even get through the whole story at one
Oh,
time.
wow. I remember
Remember?
that story. Well, I vaguely remember it. And of course, I'm being just a little facetious with saying Doctor Strange. Is it a little early for him? Isn't that the wrong company? Just
Yeah. This
get a
was
little bit of a reaction, and I did.
a uh, but anyways, let's see now.
On with the show. This was it.
Right, so as I
So I guess we're
said,
not reading Doctor Strange.
no, since we kind of abruptly stopped reading it that one time, that's I'm just not gonna. So we just moved right up to the ghost here, because I have read him before. So like I said, we're gonna
Ghost
start
is the
here.
host.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna start here, and then we're just gonna work our way through. So as always, of course, a friendly reminder to the chat. If you guys haven't yet, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. Be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer. We'll try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get going with this. So, the ghost, trained by the yogis of India as a master magician, George Chance masquerades as the ghost. In fighting crime, his strange powers have helped to bring back from the Stone Age the kidnapped victims of Professor Fenton's weird time machine. The mysterious kidnappings which have terrorized America continue. Another great public leader is seized. You want to do that? You want to do that guy right there?
You'll come in, and without a fight.
George Shantz confers with the police commissioner. You want to do? You do the police commissioner. I'll do.
So, guy in green, right?
Right.
Okay. But if Fenton is kidnapping these men, why should we grab him right now?
He's used his machine to scatter his victims through the ages of history. If he knows we're onto him, he'll destroy the machine, and they'll never get back to the 20th century again. A daring scheme. Tell all the papers that Dr. Andres, the great European scientist, has landed in America with a clue to the kidnappings.
All right, Ghost.
In his laboratory, Professor Fenton reads amazing news. This fellow Andres knows too much for his own good.
You don't even know what he knows for sure.
Huh?
I'm just saying, this guy doesn't even know what he knows for sure. They say that he has a clue to kidnappings, but you don't know for sure. You just assume because the newspaper says it's true.
Well, but you know why the newspaper, you know why the Ghost had them put that false story out, don't you?
Yeah, because this guy wants to believe everything he reads in the newspaper.
Well,
shows you. We've always been told.
Don't. He wants to try to draw him out.
Yeah, but we've always been told. I'm not sure whether he was told, but don't believe everything you read.
Yeah. Omnis orders. Here's his address. Go on up, and don't come back without him.
You said it, Chief.
Unaware that he is the ghost in disguise, Fenton's new men seize Andres.
Yeah. You guy, smart guy, eh? Boy, you don't know what a long trip you're going on.
They speed him to Fenton's laboratory. What are you going to do with me? A man of your brains will prove useful to me later, Andres. That's why you're being kidnapped instead of killed. Get the machine ready, boys. The Ghost is placed in the dome of the time machine. When I rule the earth, the great men whom I sent backwards through time shall return to serve me. Meanwhile, farewell.
Okay. You know what? That's just not quite a great plan. Because they could foil something by being put back in history, foil time. He'd be better to go back and do stuff to make himself rich, a ruler of the world, before there's the authorities to do something about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but again, remember, these were still the early days of comics and comic book. They probably, as we've seen several times, sometimes their reasoning is not that great. I mean, if you've watched some of the episodes where Metal's been on, we've picked apart a number of times where particularly their scientific knowledge has been lacking.
Oh yeah, and I think I've done that a little bit from here and there. I'm not quite as good as Metal in that area for sure, but
Right. Well, I mean, we picked apart, stories before. That's part of the reason we do this, right?
Yeah. And it's part of the reason I said what I said. So
Right. There is a familiar whirling sensation as the ages rush past. The blue time beam um, carried him to an ancient stone-walled room. Hmm. Here's another package from the boss. And then you
he'll be
want to do
company
the
for the others.
imprisoned with the other kidnap victims. Andrews becomes George Chance again.
His face, it changed.
Greetings, friends.
He has a beard and glasses when he came in.
Hmm. I know you. You're Cynthia Hall, the actress. Any idea where we are? No, we've been prisoners for over a month, and the guards won't talk. The window discloses the the strength of their prison.
There's no chance of escape.
Nothing is impossible for the ghost. At the ghost's gesture, the walls fall away, and a
It's a
drawbridge.
mir- oh,
Hold on, a drawbridge spans the moat.
it's a miracle.
Look, the way is clear. Realizing that their disappearance will bring pursuit, the ghost puts his magic to work again. Living shadows remain behind to dupe their captors.
I'm glad to get out of here.
Let's go.
Look, mounted men.
I'd like to know where we are and what century this is. What do you mean? What century? They are captured by strange horsemen.
Oi, you are more prisoners, knaves.
What is this gag? I'm afraid not, Cynthia. We'd best go along quietly. They enter a strange city. Do you mean to say we've been transported back to the age of knighthood? Yes, we're entering Camelot, city of King Arthur and his knights. They are brought into the presence of King Arthur himself. I'll let you be King Arthur there.
Who are these strange beings, Sir Kay? My
My
captives,
okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
uh, uh, my captives are on. What's that? Okay,
Oh,
my
King.
captives, O king. The lady is mine by right of request.
Actually, that's conquest, I believe.
Conquest.
Angered, the ghost goes into action. It won't be as easy as you think. Sir Kay challenges the ghost.
Or challenge the knave to mortal combat. My life against his.
It will be a pleasure. Let's go. On the field of combat, refusing both horse and weapons, the ghost awaits Kay's charge.
How about thee, rogue?
Here's where somebody gets a surprise. Let's see. Onlookers see an amazing sight. A new menace sways King Arthur, Merlin the wizard. The strangers are allied with the powers of darkness. They must die.
I am guided by thy words, Merlin, to the stake with them.
Condemned to death, the ghost and his party await the torch. Don't be afraid, Cynthia. I'll get you out of this. You shall burn, dogs. Suddenly, George Chance's features change. The awful skull-like face of the ghost appears. Come to my aid, O venerable yogis! The crowd shrinks back as the forms of the yogis materialize.
The strange.
I think
that's
Merlin.
The king.
Oh,
because he says,
yeah, you're right. I see the tail there. Sorry.
The stranger's wizardry is greater than yours, O Merlin.
Next moment, George Chance grows to giant size. Fools, did you think to combat my magic? Seizing Merlin, he whirls him into the air. You feared my power and wanted me dead, eh, Merlin? Mercy! You are greater than I! King Arthur begs the ghost forgiveness.
Well, crave your pardon, sir. How can I show my penance?
By explaining the evil Merlin from your kingdom. Arthur obeys. Merlin is thrust. By expelling the evil Merlin from your kingdom. Arthur obeys. Merlin is thrust from the gates of Camelot. I go, but my revenge will be bitter. Cynthia warns George Chance. You've made a terrible enemy, Ghost. You haven't heard the last of Merlin. Don't worry, Cynthia. He can't make a move that I won't know. The ghost, second sight, comes to his aid. Merlin and Queen Morgan Le Fay. I'll have to look into this. A yogi spell transports him to the scene in hiding. He overhears a terrible plot. Most of Arthur's knights have departed for the Crusades. Strike now, and you can seize England. You speak wisely, Merlin. My knights shall attack at once. The ghost is discovered. Fighting bravely against odds, he is captured. You want to do the
surrender, wretch?
Dragged before the queen, he is sentenced to a terrible death. This is this is the evil magician of whom I spoke. He is dangerous to our cause. We shall leave him behind to be boiled in oil. Boiled in oil.
Yeah.
Classic.
And you want to know something? As far as I know from the myths or whatever around King Arthur, um, Merlin would never have gotten in league with Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah,
And I
they
do
were
not.
they were actually arch they were actually, as far as I know, they were arch enemies too. But
Yeah.
I guess this particular writer did not know that.
Or
Well,
pretty much.
actually though, the thing is too is here's the thing too. Maybe he did, but since he decided to make Merlin evil, well, now you have two evil magicians. You have an evil magician and an evil witch.
Yeah. And the fact that he said queen, so, well, he's making, I'm not sure whether for sure, whether it sounds like she might be Arthur's wife, but I don't think so. It's hard to
No,
tell.
I think in some
Or,
folklore, Morgan Le Fay actually did have a queendom of her own. I think at one point too. So
oh, okay. So,
Morgan Le Fay's knights depart to attack Camelot.
down with Arthur.
Morgan Le Fay shall rule England. Executioners prepare to carry out the Queen's awful sentence.
Show us your magic now, rogue.
Okay.
You're gonna read
I'm just trying to figure out. Oh, come to my aid! Come to my aid, oh powers that be!
cut the
There's
rope
some,
and let the knave taste hot oil.
the ghost spell destroys his jailers. Now to warn Arthur of Merlin's plot. Oh, oh! Look at that scene right there.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yikes! He returns to Camelot with the speed of lightning. Call, call all of your knights to arms, Merlin, and call all your knights to arms. Merlin and Morgan Le Fay are on their way to strike.
Oh, I've but a few nights. How can I defend them against such a mighty force?
The ghost sorcery brings 20th century weapons to Old England. Again, what were you talking about earlier with the idea? Well, one of the points too, they say you shouldn't mess around with time travel because you could inadvertently alter the past. Albeit, in all fairness, King Arthur was more of a fictional figure than anything else, as I recall.
Yeah.
So, my friend shall fight at your side, King Arthur. These weapons shall repel your enemies.
They are strange devices indeed.
Confidently, the enemy knights attack, but they are withered by a strange blast from the future.
Your weapons are mighty, ghost.
They're, they're beaten already?
You have saved my kingdom. How can I repay thee?
By accompanying me to a nearby castle, your majesty, your knights can help me against evil men. Led by the ghost, they march on Fenton's thugs.
Get ready for battle, men.
Fenton's men are wiped out in a terrific battle.
The knives flee.
Good work, men. Keep shooting.
Boykos.
Arthur and his knights departed. The ghost uh, conceives a clever plan. One by one, he puts each of the kidnapped men in a death-like state. I don't understand. Why are you doing this? You're next, Cynthia. When Fenton comes over the time beam, I want him to think that everyone here is dead. Then I'll manage to get into the 20th century again. Only the ghost is left suddenly. He assumes the likeness of one of the thugs. Fenton will never suspect. Hope I don't have to wait long for him. The weird blue beam of the time machine brings Professor Fenton into the past. Great Scott! Great Scott! What happened? What happened here, Tim? A bunch of the guys in armor came and killed the whole mob. I managed to get away. Angered, Fenton departs with his supposed accomplice. We might as well go back. All of my trouble wasted because you fools were caught off guard. I'm sorry, boss. Back in the 20th century, Fenton's assistant pulls a switch. A moment later, both men are in the laboratory. Coming along, Tim? Nah, I'm tired. I'll hang around here for a while. Alone, the ghost emerges from the form of the gangster, springing to the switch of the time machine. He brings the kidnapped victims back into the present. Thank God you're safe, Ghost. I never thought you could do it. The yogis know no such word as failure. He pledges the others to secrecy. If Fenton learns that I've rescued you, he may destroy the time machine and make it impossible for me to bring back the others. He's kidnapped and hidden in past ages. You must remain silent. None of us will talk. After they have left Fenton's home, we owe you everything, Ghost. My work has just begun, Cynthia. I won't rest until I break Fenton's kidnap ring wide open. Follow the ghost through time in our next issue. Okay, so before we do go on, Rick, overall thoughts?
Overall, I thought it was pretty good. Of course, there was that little bit of where what I thought they should have done with the time travel that I said, earlier. And some of what I said about happened. Your guys. I didn't realize he had guys on the other side. I just thought he was transporting them back willy nilly, and he could just transport them back at any time. But at the same time, they escaped, and then they caused some ruckus. Although his men don't know what ruckus it caused, they didn't even realize they escaped, But so, I guess it worked out a little better than I thought, but I think he still should have, used it. time machine himself to go back and change events in his favor
Yeah.
instead of just
Well, yeah, well,
keeping guys
they're not
prisoners
going
and
to do that because I don't know if you've watched enough science fiction shows enough, but usually, usually the problem is sometimes when you change when you go back and try to change history, sometimes it doesn't always work out for
your betterment.
for
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
I've watched a fair amount of time travel, and again, it depends on which time travel rules you use too. There's, depending
Well,
on
I mean, I saw a good example of this yesterday when I happened to watch a Super Friends episode, right? The
yeah,
Krypton syndrome, where Superman inadvertently got thrown back in time. He actually ended up saving Krypton from exploding.
yeah, and thus
Which, when
Superman
you look
never came
back
to
to
Earth.
present time, there was no Super Friends and or there was no Superman. Therefore, the Super Friends were actually defeated by the Legion of Doom. You realize, oh no, I screwed up and had to go back and let Krypton die.
Yeah,
So so
yeah,
you
yeah. There's that, but there's also the rules of time travel. Like you take Back to the Future, Time Cop. I'm not sure what other ones there are. Like the Time Machine. All the rules are different, right? For each thing. Each company or however show, TV series, movie makes up different rules, and we don't know which ones are rule right. Because as far as we know, nobody's ever time traveled.
right.
So any of them could be right or they could all be wrong.
Right. Well, anyways,
So
before we do go on to our next story here, I do need to step away from the computer for a moment. So if you can chit chat with the chat,
yeah,
for a moment, I'll be right back.
yeah. Well, is anybody here in the chat? Let's see whether what is there if there's anybody. We do have 4 watching, so we have a couple of people working, which is all right, for sure. Um, okay, you know what to say or whatever. Let's see. Let me get back to. Oh, there's StreamYard. Yeah. So yeah. Time travel. It's a tricky thing. For sure. You know, this guy holding people in the past as prisoners just to make it a little harder for the authorities to find them and get them. It's a good idea, I guess, if he needs them. But like I said, I think a better idea is to take them maybe back, grab them, take them back with you, get them to create stuff for you to take over the world earlier. Have your kingdom rule and just go make sure you appear every number of years to make it looks like you're living. Give instructions to how you want things going and all that. But yeah, who am I? With this, if I wanted to be an evil conquering dictator and use time travel, I would have ideas. But I don't want that.
Wouldn't
So
we all, Rick? Wouldn't we all? I'm sure we all have. If I think we all have. If we could, if we were to quote unquote conquer the world, sure we'd all have a plan on seeing how we either make the world better or make the world
worse.
fit with what we wanted. So, anyways, now
On to the
moving on.
next story.
Yep, on to the next story, which is the woman in red, which will be coming right up here.
The woman isn't that
I mean, the song is "The Lady in
like
Red"
Chris de Burgh, right?
is dancing. Yeah, from the Barge, actually, the Barge was the name of the band. Um, yeah. Anyways, on to the Curse of Voa, a woman in red mystery. Roger Barrow, wealthy diamond importer, returns from Africa with his nephew, um, Philip Acton. Let's see. I'll be. Why don't you be the younger guy there? I'll be the older guy.
Okay, so you're gonna be the guy in the cape. The guy in the red hat.
Right.
Okay. At last, civilization.
That old witch, a doctor's curse, still troubles you, eh? At home, Barrow tells his family about the curse of Voa. The tribesmen whose land we chartered for our mine claim the death god of Voa will follow us back.
Sounds like poppycock to me, Dad.
How dreadful, father. Palmer, the butler, is fearful. I'm glad I didn't go with you. This time, sir, those natives may be right. Don't even suggest it, Palmer. The family makes ready to retire. Now, in this case, for those who may not know, in the meaning retire here just simply means go to bed. That was an older way. They particularly in more upper class households would say it instead of saying, "Well, we're going to bed. We're going to retire for the evening." That's usually how it was put.
Yeah.
You can bet my husband won't ever go to Africa. Hmm. He would if he could locate a mine as rich as we did. Air Philip? That night, a terrifying form stalks the Barrow home. Oh, look at that! Look at that right there. You see that figure right there, Rick?
Yeah.
Man, the way he looked, they kind of drew him like he's just skin and bones almost.
Yeah.
The curse of Voa claims its first victim. Help! The murdered man's son confers with the police commissioner.
I'm Walter Barrow. Can't my father's death be investigated secretly?
Hmm. It can, provided you don't reveal our operative. Peggy Allen, the famous woman in red, gets a new case. I've arranged to have you work as a maid in the Barrow home. You're to handle the case in your own way. Right, Commissioner. Palmer tips off the new maid. This is a bad house to work in. We haven't seen the last of the Voa. Gee, I'm scared. That night, the woman in red prepares for action. That that butler seems a little too certain. A grim figure looms at the end of the corridor. Here, here's where he gets a surprise. Bang! Bang! Bullets fail to stop the deadly prowler. Regaining consciousness, the woman in red dashes outside as screams resound the neighboring house. Help! Help! Those cries. He must be in that house. Mrs. Grimes, the Barrows' neighbor, is beyond assistance. All right. Looks like the Voa's work. Opinions are exchanged over the breakfast table.
I remember my dad saying he wanted to see Mrs. Grimes. There's some connection.
I think you were both of those guys, I believe.
Okay. Then you think she was murdered?
Peggy encounters an eavesdropper. Sorry, Palmer. No damage. I was just wiping the floor. That night, the woman in red steals into Palmer's quarters. He's not here. I'll look around. A sudden cry for help sounds from an adjoining room. Trouble again. Wonder what's up. Philip Acton is missing. Gone. The door slams shut. A dark form seizes its quarry. Got, uh, got yo. Twisting free, the woman in red clubs her assailant. This will hold you. She slips out undetected as the family enters.
What are you doing here, Palmer?
He was gone. Oh wait. Well,
Why that guy in the reddish?
I guess I'll do him. Where's Philip Acton? He was gone. He was gone when I got here. Then the boa slugged me. The butler story is questioned. How do we know you're not the Voa? Me? Oh no, sir. A woman in red hastens to the Grimes house. I've got a hunch I'll find a lead here. The Voa lurks in the darkness, ready to leap. Nothing so far. Look, there's the Voa right there. Far right there.
Yeah. Was it some sort of costume? I don't think it's the butler,
Yeah.
but it could be Scooby
The
Doo and all.
woman in red whirls to meet the attack. You again. She collapses as an agonizing pain sears her shoulder. Oh. In the nick of time, the woman in red plucks out a thin crystal silver. So this is what he uses, tiny poison darts. The police have been called to the Barrow residence. They didn't lose any time in calling the police. The woman in red peers down on another scene of violence.
Your squad car came quickly. We heard Palmer yell just 5 minutes ago.
I'd like to know what got him. The policeman on guard collars the onlooker. You want to do that, pretty lookout?
Spying, huh?
Jiu-jitsu sends the law sprawling. I've things to do. With the police on her heels, the woman in red dashes to Acton's room. I'll dodge in here. A lightning a lightning search reveals a small vial. Just what I'm looking for. The police rush in. She eludes them in a lightning move. The woman in red rushes to the cellar. Here's where I pick up the trail. Inspection of the cellar wall reveals a secret entrance. I thought I'd find this. The woman the woman in red loads her pistol with steel-jacketed bullets. This time I'll be ready for you. The Voa leaps from a hiding niche in the tunnel wall. Not this time you don't. Born to the ground, the woman in red fires. Ugh! Stop this one. Stop this one. Pursuing the Voa to the other end of the shaft, the woman in red finds the entrance barred. I'll have to go back. He's got it locked from the outside. The pivoting door sideswipes the the searching police. I think that's you.
What the?
Rushing to the Grimes house, the woman in red corners the wounded Voa. Blowing okay. Blowing us up, huh? Are you? Pow! The dazed killer is finally shackled. Here they come. The woman in red leaps through the window as the police charge in. I think you're all those guys.
The Voya handcuffed. Well, there she goes. Hold on, you fool. She's not the one we want.
The Voa brought to bay is unmasked.
Wait, what? It's Philip Acton. No wonder he disappeared.
Philip Acton stammers a needless confession.
Who's Acton?
I think you were Acton.
Because Acton is the guy in the book Brown. He was the bad guy.
No, he's the one in the center there because the center is a
Yeah, but Philip Acton is the one that they caught in the brown suit.
yeah, and he's the one that's speaking in the middle there.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were doing him, but okay. I tried to kill you all so I could claim the new mine. Uncle Roger told me of the tunnel on the way back. So I wanted to get rid of Mrs. Grimes when she found me using it. You crazy dog.
Peggy Allen explains to the police commissioner, and I know you were the police commissioner.
Yeah. So you found the poison crystals in Acton's room.
That's right, Chief. And Palmer's body in the cellar indicated he'd found Acton using the tunnel. Although Acton wore a bulletproof vest, I finally caught up with him. The commissioner passes on a message to his ace investigator.
By the way, Walter, Barrow telephoned and asked if you'd like to have dinner with him tonight.
I hope you said yeah. I hope you said yes. Follow the woman in red in her next exciting case. All right, Rick. So, overall impressions of the woman in red.
I liked it. Uh, I'm saying I probably liked it a little bit more than the other ones so far. But I know I can't give my overall opinion till the end. But
Oh yeah.
because we
Well,
got a
well,
couple.
at the very end, I'm going to ask you of all the stories we read, which ones did you like the which one did you like the most, and which ones did you like the least? So yeah.
Yeah,
So
well, we've got a couple more stories, but
at the very least, yeah, because
yeah,
I'm going to try to. We're at the 50.
10-2, 9-2.
Yeah, yeah, 9 to the hour. So we're gonna go to about 1:40, 1:45, and then I'll start to wrap things up.
So
So
yeah, it was pretty good. Heck, I'm slowly trying to put together, probably through public domain characters, some World War I heroes. I might end up putting in a couple of my own, and I think I might try and use her as one of them. The
for your
woman in red.
silhouette game,
No, 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 no. Like in my comics, I would like to
oh,
create a World War I set of heroes team, and I think she might be good for it. For
well, you might want to investigate. Just make sure you might want to
she's
look
public
into it.
domain. I'm pretty sure she would be public domain because.
Yeah, chances are she probably is, but better to double check
Oh
that.
yeah,
Before.
something like that. I would check for first, but she can
I
get put on.
actually heard Rex Devil Flyer. He's utilizing some public domain characters now, from what I heard
Yeah,
recently.
and these aren't characters that would appear all the time, but I just like to have it. People, Marvel and DC both have the World War II ones, you know, um, super teams and characters that operated during that time, and I have ones that the same, right? But I'd like to try and create some or get some for World War I.
Yeah.
And I think she'd make a great femme fatale for that sort of thing. So,
All right.
I think I was with you when you
It
read
wouldn't
hers
be the
last.
first time that I helped to inspire somebody to use public domain. Because RJ actually did a clock story. I don't know how if that ever got published or not, but actually next time I talk to him, I'll have to ask him about that. In fact. All right, so here's the next one we're gonna do here. The Lone Eagle. This one is more of an aviation story. Um, so we'll get into this here. The Lone Eagle. The Allied aces in the estimate at Thionville Company of inactivity. Wonder what's keeping the Jerrys away, Maurice. They haven't been over for nearly a week. I'll let you do
En
Maurice.
bien. You want me to do him?
Yeah. Do Maurice.
En bien. Donc one day champagne, the next fill up glasses with Perrier.
I think it's Phil Glass's Pierre. A new arrival brings alarming news. Marseille has just been bombed. The entire harbor is ablaze. The canteen buzzes with mystified excitement.
But Marseilles, how they get that far south without detection?
Hang it, it's unbelievable. I'll let you do the other French guy too.
I can't figure it out.
The Lone Eagle quietly steals to the hangar. So there's action in Marseille. That's all I want to know. At that moment, in a back room at the canteen, calling Reich, Reich air reconnaissance. Intercept British fighter south of Thionville. The Lone Eagle sights a flight of Messerschmitts. Zooming up, the Lone Eagle meets one of the Germans with a head-on burst of fire. With one adversary down, the Lone Eagle rakes the elusive black ship. The fellow charmed. I can't bring him down. Finally, outmaneuvered, the mystery ship ducks into a cloud bank. An hour later, the Lone Eagle reaches the aerodrome at Marseille. I'll let you do the French guy.
Well, mon ami, what do you think of the raid?
You've got me, Colonel. They must have a secret base. As the Lone Eagle heads for the barracks, a treacherous mechanic shakes emery powder into his motor. Returning to the plane for some forgotten maps, the Lone Eagle witnesses the sabotage. Well, I'll be an enemy agent. Restraining his first impulse, the Lone Eagle trails the saboteur to a waterfront dive. The unsuspecting mechanic reports to his superior in an upstairs room. I've taken care of the Lone Eagle's plane. Air Viercheck. Good. Our agent at Dawnville says he's dynamite. The Lone Eagle learns the identity of the Black Plains pilot. Rorman tried to get him when he took off. He should be over any minute now, on his way to our new base. The mechanic gets cold feet. We're taking a big chance. Our work here is done. We leave as soon as Rorman passes over the city. The glaring headlights of a car in the street below throw the Lone Eagle shadow into the room. Someone's listening. Lone Eagle is brought from hiding at gunpoint. A British officer in quite a nice catch. He's the Lone Eagle. He In a lightning move, the Lone Eagle yanks the curtain over the spy leader head. Here's yours. The wireless receiver sounds out a message from the German mystery plane. You want to do the announcement there? Like
Welcome Air calling, flying over city, new airbase. All well.
I've got to get a plane. Faced with a new task, the Lone Eagle turns over his prisoners. I'm an agent of British Air Intelligence. Take charge of the two Germans I've captured upstairs and notify Thionville to arrest one Pierre Voss.
Oui, mon capitaine.
Rushing to the airdrome, the Lone Eagle explains to the Commandant, Rohrman, the German ace, is passing over. I need a fast plane to tail him. And the Commandant.
Well, take one of our new Curtis's Hawk 75s.
Rocketing up in a steep climb, the Lone Eagle spots the black ship. The Lone Eagle takes up the chase. He doesn't know it, but I'm sticking with him until he lands. The two planes hop the Mediterranean and soar over the desolate Tunisian desert. Looks as if he was about to land. Bringing his ship down, the Lone Eagle steals up to the secret Nazi airbase. So that's their new hangout. Three roving Arabs stalk the unsuspecting British ace. You want to do the Arab right there?
Wait, brothers.
The lone Eagle puts up a futile defense against odds. Three against A day's ride through the searing desert bring them to the Arab camp.
Our captive will gladden the Sheikh's heart.
The Lone Eagle is brought before Sheikh Mufti al-Kabir, scourge of the desert. I don't understand Arabic. What's up?
Sheikh says you die.
The Sheikh plans a new defiance on the Foreign Legion.
The French Foreign Legion.
The French Foreign Legion.
Your head will be sent to the cursed legionnaires at the fort Delacroix. Delacroix. Wait.
Tell the Sheikh this. The Lone Eagle thinks quickly in an emergency. Tell the Sheikh the French are no longer masters of Tunisia, and the new white conquerors have brought many planes. The Sheikh receives the news with a new torrent of rage. No invaders can escape the wrath of Mufti al-Kabir.
You shall lead us to these plains, and woe to you if you have lied.
The fierce tribesmen swoop down on the Nazi airbase. Unobserved in the heat of the battle, the Lone Eagle dashes for his plane. Hope I've got enough gas to get me to Fort Delacroix. Heading west, the Lone Eagle makes out the grim battlements of the Legion outpost. There it is now. The Commandant receives a surprise visit. British intelligence, Mon Colonel. I think I have important news for you.
Mon Dieu, Breton, what brings you here?
The Lone Eagle prepares to kill two birds with one stone. The Arabs are attacking a German air post. We can get them both if we work fast.
Where Marcel's for supporting squadron? Regiment to arms!
Of course, we've had this is the second week in a row we've had a story involving the Foreign Legion. I don't know if you caught last week's show,
I caught a little bit of it, I believe.
Yeah. Neon the Unknown was part of the French Foreign Legion too. Um, the Legionnaire column sets out from Fort Delacroix.
Varard!
They meet with the retreating remnants of Sheikh Mufti al-Kabir's band. Here they come. They must be beaten off.
Bataillon mount machine guns, prepare for attack.
The soldiers of the Legion clash with their traditional enemy. The Lone Eagle leaps through the battling forms and takes an important prisoner. Here I am again, Sheik. Their leader captured. The surviving Arabs surrender.
Good work, Captain. You caught the toughest Arab rebel in North Africa.
Good. Hold him while I take care of something else. The Lone Eagle traces a huge message in the sand. The planes from Marseille should be over soon. I want to be in this fight. A few minutes later, the silent desert throbs with the roar of motors. Here they come, Colonel. Hope they see my message. The lead plane spots the words on the desert below. He signals a fighter to descend. Land one plane. The Lone Eagle takes over the French plane. Take a rest, Lieutenant. Any light bombs in this ship?
You find them under the instrument board, Captain.
The German base seethes with sudden activity as the French ships drone over. Rorman's famed fighter squadron rises to the defense of its base. The Lone Eagle singles out Rorman's black mighty ship.
Mystery.
Oh, black mystery ship. Bullets can't get you, but this will. Struck suddenly by the bursting bomb, the German plane plunges downward to a crash. In a few moments, the French squadron clears the sky of Nazi fighters. The Lone Eagle lands beside the wreckage of Rorman's plane. No wonder he couldn't be shot down. Looks like a new bulletproof alloy to me, and his tanks are vulcanized inside, so that they're leak proof. I think that's the French pilot.
Okay. The Air Ministry will find your discovery useful.
Returning to France with the victorious squadron, the Lone Eagle is sighted by the Minister of Aviation.
For service to the Republic, mon capitaine.
Watch for the Lone Eagle's new daring exploits in the air. All right, so overall impressions of this story, Rick?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm not a big one on this type of stuff, but it seemed, from what I know, fairly credible. Of course, it's dealing, I believe, with the Second World War, and it does seem well, it's the Brits, so I was going to say it seems a little bit, uh, the comics are, they're almost foretelling stuff. It seems like, as we've talked about in the past, when they were talking about the war before it even started. Well, back when when we were reading stuff from September or
Yeah.
August of '39,
Uh-huh.
the
Well, yeah.
looting
Well,
stuff.
and we've been gradually talking about this, that even despite some of the lapses in logic and lack of knowledge in certain areas, I think it's been generally agreed to that the writing has been generally getting better over
Yeah,
time.
there's obviously the story here and there that it's not quite as good as what most of the stories are at this
Mhm.
point. And
Mhm.
again, I said it, and I think Metal was saying it last week. Some of the companies that don't keep up with the good writing fall by the wayside,
Yeah,
and they
which is
don't
which would be
continue.
which would be a natural thing, you
Yeah,
know.
because people want to see that good writing even in their comics, and if they're
Mhm.
noticing one comic or company is better than the other, they're going to gravitate their money that way.
Right. All right. So with that, let's get ready and move on to the next story then. As we're at an hour and 11 minutes, hour and 12. Yeah, hour 11, coming up on an hour 12 here. Um, let's see. No, we're not going to do this one. Um, Three Comrades. This is the next one we're going to do here. Now, I was reading in the notes on this particular story. This apparently is the last appearance of these three characters. So, Three Comrades. Um, the three comrades are spending a vacation on the island of Puerto Rico. Um, island of Puerto Rico. Um,
That's a
at the
coffee
coffee
plantation.
plantation of Tom Carroll, an old friend of Cal's.
So we got Lucky, Cal, and Books.
Well, let's see. I'll be Books. I'll be I'll be Books. You can be Lucky and Cal.
Okay. So I think Lucky's first here. Boys!
Oh wait, Lucky's the orange haired. Uh,
Oh, yeah. Well,
Books is the
okay, I
one with
should say
glasses,
Cal.
and
Cal, I
Cal
think,
is.
is.
They're all on the right. So the first guy there is actually, I guess, Tom Carroll. There, boys. I want you to meet my sister Caroline. I hope you, I hope you boys will make yourselves at home.
Home was never like this.
Next day, the boys go on a hike.
It's starting to rain. We better find shelter. I think I saw a house in that direction, over in that direction.
Meanwhile, at a house nearby, we find Caroline Carroll talking to a strange man. I know the payments are due, Dr. Zorn, but I beg of you to wait just a little longer. No, no, I have given your brother enough time. Now he must pay or lose the plantation. My patience is at an end. Go away! Bang!
Okay, I think I'm in. Not now, mister. We've got sense enough to get got we've got sense enough to get in out of the rain. Even you haven't.
He shot.
No answer. Let's try that other door. Ah, this one's open. Looks like a workshop.
A rare type of electrical equipment.
And there was someone in the other building, someone we know. It was Caroline. I saw her through the window.
The doctor and Caroline eavesdropped on the conversation of the three comrades.
I saw her through the window.
You heard that? You heard that, didn't you? They are curious about this place and about you being here. Have no other choice. I have no other choice. I must keep them prisoners.
The storm has abated. Let's get out of here. We can't. The door's locked.
And the windows are barred. Meanwhile, come upstairs with me. I will show you what I have been working on these past 5 years. Look. Watch, I will command him to lift that weight. It is 1,000 pounds. You see, he will do anything I tell him to do. Now throw it. Crash! Ha ha! Ho ho ho! I shall be master of the world. You are mad.
I agree.
The girl runs to an elevator, which goes down to the room where the boys are imprisoned.
Caroline!
Help! The monster! The elevator has gone up again. He'll be down here any minute with that horrible thing.
It's just a
Now
robot.
you shall all die for your meddling. The monster advances toward them relentlessly. Kill him! Cal throws a table at him. Clank! But he brushes it aside as easily as though it were a piece of paper. The robot seizes a huge transformer.
I think that's Book's yelling it.
Huh? Oh. Duck! The transformer sails through the air dangerously close to their heads and crashes into the wall beyond. Crash!
Hurry! Through the hole. I don't need a push. Legs don't fail me now. A cave, quick, inside. Wait, be careful, everybody. I'll light a match. Okay, that looks like Mike. Oh, that's the guy in the green. So, okay. Look out, Lucky.
Books just catches him in time to keep him from falling into a deep hole. Go after them, kill them all, I command you. Ah, Gonzalez, where have you been? Go in there and shoot to kill. Bang! The vibrations of the shot caused the roof to give in. Ew! We can't go any further. This is the end of the cave.
Look out! Here he comes.
The monster brushes Cal aside and seizes Caroline. Help!
Oh, stop! He'd obey you, Cal. He obeyed you, Cal. How come? I merely imitated his master's voice.
But the mouth of the cave is sealed up.
Perhaps if I gave another imitation, pull those rocks aside. Away. He's doing it. Hey, he doesn't care where he throws them. So stand right behind him. You can't throw him directly behind him. Ah, daylight.
Kill him! I tell you. The monster is again under the influence of his master. He turns and seizes Lucky.
Ah, let go, ya. Let go, you big bum. Ouch! Run, Caroline!
The robot takes after them.
I trip. Don't stop. What big feet you have, Grandpa?
Where do you think you got that one from?
The big bad wolf, Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, Little Red Riding Hood. Help! Cal tries to attract the robot's attention.
Take that. Nah, you can't catch me.
Cal rushes toward the hole Lucky previously fell into. He jumps over the yawning pit.
Oh, I'm not gonna make it.
He falls, but manages to catch on to a small ledge.
Oh, hello. What are you going to do?
The monster starts heaving huge rocks down at Cal.
Oh, that's a cute idea.
Hurry, boys. Do something. Cal's down there. Push! They catch the robot off balance.
Goodbye, Joe. Can't say I'm glad to have met you, though. I'm glad that's the end of him. He was giving me gray hair. Caroline, who is that man?
He is Dr. Zorn. My brother owes him money, and Zorn has threatened to take over the plantation.
Ah, he's not here. He must have come back to that house. I'm taking this hunk of pipe along with me. Have another one of those tin men over there.
My last work
But
is lost. Now now we shall, now we shall all die. I pull this switch, the building will be blown up. Fire! Do you think Dr. Zorn was dead?
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. From that short circuit, that what short circuit was too much for any man to live through. Now, I really need a vacation.
How can we ever thank you?
I think nothing of it. We had a lot of fun. Fun?
Follow the three comrades to new adventures in next month's thrilling comic. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, when I read through the notes earlier, this is actually their last appearance. So
Yeah.
apparently they weren't I guess they weren't this
Popular enough?
Yeah, probably not. All
They got
right. So
canned.
overall impressions of this story, Rick.
I actually liked it. It is tonight when you asked those couple of questions at the end. I think it might be hard to answer.
Overall, the stories are getting better, aren't they?
Yeah.
So let's see. We're
At least for this company standard. These are all pretty good tonight.
Well, they went through a few. At this point, they were known as Better Books, but they went through a few names. They started out as Better Books, became Nador, was known as Standard, and also as Pines.
Well, they certainly are becoming better books right now. It's well, I forget what I saw the last date as, but for their books, but under different name, of course. Probably they're probably Nato or Standard by the end. If they're better books right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of first heard about them. Actually, I think Rex is one of the ones I first heard to use. Heard the name Nador.
Yes.
Excuse me.
They're really upping their game. So yeah, maybe they've had to have to change their name over the next few years. I'm not sure why they did. They could have just wanted a better name, a more standard name.
Yeah. Well, anyways, let's continue on to the next story here. So we're at an hour and a half here. So I think we're making good time here.
Yeah, we should should at least be able to do another story, maybe
at least
two.
One more. Well, I think after this one, then the only one left is like 3. I think. Let's see. This one might be 4 pages, and the next one might be 3. So we're probably. The others were like, well, the one I read was 7. The others were 8 pages each. So,
Yeah.
All right. So the Rio Kid. The Rio Kid spots trouble on the Zuni reservation. Wonder what's up. Those boys must be local. A quick dash scatters the rising flames. Get back, boys. Cool off. The liquor-crazed braves pulled the Rio Kid from his mount. I'll let you do the Indians there.
Him friend of Verne, burn him too.
Let up, you crazy catamounts. I don't want to have to drill you. Chief Running Horse breaks through the yelling gang.
Wait, him kid, Rio Kid, plenty friend of Indian.
Howdy, Running Horse. Don't waste time talking, cowboy. How about cutting me loose? The chief explains the trouble.
Joe Warner still Zunikado. My brave say him better die.
You can't take the law into your own hands, Running Horse. Well, Varner, What's your story? It ain't your business. Just step aside. I don't aim to hang around none. The Rio kid decides to find out for himself. Maybe I'll learn something in town. He finds Varner selling a herd of cattle at the livestock auction. Just a minute, Varner. This stock you're selling has the Zuni brand. Why, you meddling hound, accuse me of rustling, will you? Well, because apparently it seems that that's exactly what you did.
No, he's saying you have Zuni cattle and you can't sell them. He's not saying you rustle them. He's just saying you can't sell them because they Zuni cattle. You got to return them to the Zuni.
The Rio kid springs from his saddle. Guilty conscience, huh? Drop that shooter. Oof! The auctioneer saves Varner. I'll let you do the auctioneer, okay?
Hold on there, Varner. Showed me a bill of sale for these cattle.
You sure of that, Ed? Who gave you any call to butt in here? Sorry, Varner. Guess I was a mite hasty. I ain't forgetting it. Next time we meet, get ready to draw. The Rio kid rides back to the Zuni camp to check up. Looks like trouble brewing again. How running? How running a horse? What's all? How, how running a horse? What's all the firewater for? The chief's only son has disappeared. What? Red Eagle missing?
Graves thinks Varner have Red Eagle. Him no come home soon. Graves go Codyville. Burn, shoot.
Meanwhile, Varner rides to his mountain hangout. If the boys got that Zuni pup to sign over, I'm all set. Red Eagle is in the hands of Varner's gang. Well, boys, your cut is $50 each on them shorthorns. I'll let you do the gang there.
That's on our chicken feed, Joe. If we could only get this engine to come across.
Stubborn, huh? This'll make you change your stubborn, huh? This'll make you change your mind.
They won't work, boss. We've been slugging him all morning.
A dog's frenzied bark maddens Varner. You yapping varmint! I'm getting sick of listening to you.
What, mighty boss? Wait a minute, boss. He mad at the cat in the cage over there. Don't shoot. We take him to town and sell him.
The next day, the Rio kid looks for Varner. Well, I guess he ain't here either. Howdy, Pop. You want to do Pop right there?
Uh, if you want a liquor, cowboy, turn right around. We don't open till noon.
The dog's collar bears Varner's initials. Nice dog. You got here. Nice dog you got here, Pop. Varner's dog may provide a helpful clue.
Just bought him an hour or so ago.
He'd be handy in the sheep country. I'll give you double what you paid for him. Later, Varner sights the real kid from the hotel window. Give me that Springfield. I've been I've been seeing too much of that Waddy. The 30-30 muffled by a silencer creaks the real. Actually, this one may be something. Maybe another one that's actually. I think actually it was Marco Polo Jones. That's 4 pages. This one I think is 7 or 8 pages. I was a little crazy. The real kid. The kid falls into the hands of his friends. So you do the two gang members there.
Okay. Good thing we came along, Max. Poor old Nick's been hitting the ball again. We take him home.
Dazed, the real kid is dumped to the ground far out on the range.
This little kid, this'll settle the real kid. Come on, Max. Let's get them doggies riled up. Okay, boss.
Varner stamped. So Well, I was doing Varner, so I missed that. Varner stampedes a herd of cattle toward the real kid. The ground shaking. Where am I? Varner's dog swerves the onrushing steers. Nice work, pup. The real kid trails Varner's dog. Why he should want to get back to a polecat like Varner is more than I can understand. Within the cabin, Red Eagle has just surrendered.
You want me to do Red Eagle? I killed myself for being coward.
Just because we got him to sign over the tribal property. Varner's double cross. I'm going to save you the trouble, Red Eagle. In 2 minutes, you're gonna be a good Injun. The real kid bursts into the cabin. Don't expect to see me again, did you? Varner yanks a rope leading to a cage door. I'll fix you this time. The ferocious bobcat leaps out at the unsuspecting real kid. Reach high and fast, you varmints.
Kid, look out.
As he finishes the big cat, and another danger looms. That takes care of you.
Now's the time.
The kid slugged from behind. Drag him over here, Jerry. We'll swing him up together. Varner gloats over his helpless victim. Here's one hot spot you won't get out of, real kid. The ruthless gang sets the cabin afire. Let's go to town and celebrate this. Tomorrow we'll ride them Zunies off their land.
Was plenty smart, hombre, boss.
Back at the Zuni camp, the Braves are at a fever pitch.
Braves say soon right, Codyville. Chief running horse must give counsel.
The aged chief tries to restrain his aroused warriors.
Running horse say, wait. Real kid say, he will bring back Red Eagle. Running horse belief.
Meanwhile, in the blazing cabin, lucky for me, I'm an old hand at fighting forest fires. Now, if I can only work the other arm free. The Rio Kid pulls Red Eagle from the cabin just in time. Varner and his gang haven't seen the last of me. Early the next morning, Varner's men keep watch over the Zuni camp.
Look at there. It's the real kid in Red Eagle. That bag is still alive? FX? That FX, you betcha.
The ambush is set. Drill it, critter, Mex. I'll get the engine. Look out, Red Eagle. Tige flees as Mex stops the Rio Kid's lead. Guess this varmint is drawn for the last time. I'll get the other before he gets to Varner. The fleeing man sets a trap for the kid. Actually, you were Teague before, so I just took him because I thought he was Varner. So,
yeah. Let's see him stop this one.
The weight of the boulder crushes the loose soil. Wow, if it ain't Teague coming to meet me, huh? The Teague reveals Varner's scheme.
I'll talk. Varner's in town getting the gang deputized. Then if the Indian put up a kick, we'll shoot him down.
I reckon that's what he was fixing to do. The Rio Kid meets the Zuni braves on the warpath.
Yee-haw!
Wait a minute, boys! You're riding into a trap. Running horse holds his man back as the Rio Kid explains. Keep your men checked, and I'll see that you get Varner. Here's my ID.
Plenty good trick. We wait here.
Varner lays his case before the sheriff. And not only have I got a bill of sale signed by the chief's son, but these here are 3 witnesses.
Well, Varner, if it hits your property, I reckon you got a right to claim. Hit. You men here are hereby deputized.
After Varner and his gang leave, if we hurry, we can beat him back, Sheriff.
I ain't taking sides, you cowboy. If you can prove Varner tortured that Indian into signing, I'll do my duty.
Varner and his men ride toward the waiting Zunis. Just as I thought. Spilling for a fight, huh? Wow, we'll give 'em one.
We can to shoot to kill, boss. We're the law now.
Can the kid save his Injun friends? Wonder if that's an indication that the feature is done here. Huh? Well, maybe. Maybe not. Chief Running Horse advances bravely.
Oh, running horse. Heap said, him son Red Eagle found burned dead.
You can get off my property now, and maybe you won't have to think of him so much. Suddenly, a ghastly form confronts Varner. Jumping hop toads. What's that? Chief Running Horse feigns bewilderment.
Me see nothing. You plenty local? Too much sun?
Can't you see him? It's Red Eagle. Varner's nerves give way.
How you see Red Eagle? Him burned up dead. You local.
Take him away, Running Horse. I didn't mean to kill him. I swear I was just joking about the property. The real kid and the sheriff leap out.
I heard enough. Reach your skulking coyotes.
I've got my own score to settle first. Here's something I owe you, Varner. Varner pleads for mercy. Don't let them Indians get me. Don't let them Indians get. Oh, here we go with the. Oh boy, here we go. Look where the two tails are. The one tail actually should be over more. See that, Rick?
Yeah. The one tail should be on the red and white guy, and the other tail is where he should be on the guy in green.
Don't let the Indians get me, cowboy. They're getting ready to murder me. Don't worry, the sheriff's saving you for a long jail sentence. After hours of celebration, the real kid hits the trail. Real kid rides far. Don't miss his new adventures in the next issue.
Okay, so we got about 12 minutes to.
All right, so we're done with the readings. So we'll kind of start to wrap up here.
Not bad. We got done most of that book.
What was that?
I said not bad. We got done most of that book. Like.
Well, at least most of the stories we were getting through, yeah. So kind of knew that we were going to do that. All right. So overall, what was your impression of that story?
Oh, pretty good. Like I said, they were all pretty good tonight. Most of them I don't think had a leap in logic. Just a little bit, I think, with the first one with the time travel, but maybe that's just more my opinion of what he should have done. And I'm thinking his idea was pretty stupid, but I guess it is what it is, really. But
all right, so now to the final two questions of the night, and I know this is the one where you said that tonight it actually might be a bit more difficult for you. So here's the final two questions before we get to the end here. So I think let's see. Ghost.
We read the Ghost.
Lone Eagle, Three Comrades, and Rio Kid. So we read five stories tonight. Features. So of those 5 features, which one did you like the most? And give your reasoning.
Okay, well, I'm going to take out, obviously, from the running, which will probably put it in the running for the next question. The first one, the Ghost, because of the time travel stuff. It was still good, don't get me wrong. I liked it a fair amount.
That's the one you like the most?
No. I'm saying I'm taking it out of the running for the most. That'll probably end up in the running for the one I like the least. I'm just trying to do a process of elimination in my head, and I'm letting you guys hear that.
Yeah. I'm still listening. I'm just going off camera here for a moment, but
Yeah.
I'm still listening.
Okay, so think the next one I'm gonna take out of the running, and again, not because it was bad or anything, is the aviation story. It was good, but not really my thing. So, like I said, it was still pretty good, the story and all that. And I did enjoy it. So that leaves obviously the cowboy one, the last one we read. The Three Comrades, and the second one. What was the second one?
Go well. The second one was The Woman in Red.
I think I'm gonna say The Woman in Red was my favorite tonight.
And your reasoning behind that?
Um, I guess I just like the mystery, a little bit of a mystery. They were trying to throw you off to make it the one guy. It didn't really throw me off, but I didn't really realize who it was. And like I said, she intrigued me enough. I guess and maybe it's from the last story that we read with her, or but that I want to use her possibly for making her a character in my comics, fighting during the First World War, a superhero during the First World War. So, sort of a change in thing for her. So, yeah, I think,
The one you like the most is The Woman in Red. Then,
yeah.
all right. So now, with that being said and done, what's the one you like the least?
Well, I think it's going to come in between one of two, either the Ghost or Lone Eagle. And I think I'm going to lean a little bit more towards the Ghost. Like I said, it was still a good story and all that. I enjoyed it. But with his idea of how to work the time travel to this thing, this guy invents time travel, and he just wants to capture prisoners and throw them back in the past so he can bring them back at any time. I guess it's a good place to keep prisoners, but there's a hell of a lot better things you can do with time travel, even if you are a bad guy, to make yourself richer or ruler of the world. There's a lot, I think, simpler and easier ways to do it. So just because I guess I disagree with how he did things is really what it comes down to me. I think that was the biggest plot. The story was enjoyable, yet somehow, even though that was the biggest plot thing, and that was, the main plot of the story, really, but it was still enjoyable, I must say.
All right.
So if that makes any sense at all to anybody, what I just said.
All right.
Unless they sound like AOC double talking or whatever.
All right. So with that, then we'll start to really wrap up here. So let me just check one more time. All right. So with all that being said, now we've reached the end of the show here. So now it's time to take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. History! So first off, I'm going to head back 8 years ago yesterday. So 8 years ago yesterday, February 15th, 2017. The 145th issue of Alter Ego from Tomorrow's went on sale on yesterday's date 8 years ago, 2017. So the 145th issue of Alter Ego from Tomorrow's went on sale on newsstands yesterday. And 5 years ago yesterday, over in Japan, grizzlies, twittering birds never fly, the clouds gather, premiered on Japanese theaters on yesterday's date, 2020. So 5 years ago yesterday, the Grizzly anime movie "Twinning Birds Never Fly, Clouds Gather" premiered in Japanese theaters 5 years ago yesterday. Now moving ahead to 2016 to today's date. On this date, 15 years ago. This date 15 years ago today. Warner Brothers Animations Scooby Doo Abracadabra Doo is released direct to DVD animated comedy horror mystery fantasy film. So on 15 years ago today, Warner Brothers Scooby Doo Abracadabra Doo is released on the direct to DVD. And finally, it's up here. Finally, 10 years ago today, 2015, the Go Home Raw before Fastlane in 2015 WWE pay per view. On that card, the main event saw Big Show defeat Daniel Bryan by a DQ. Jimmy Uso and Naomi, with Jey Uso in their corner, defeated Natalya, Tyson Kidd with Cesaro. That's an interesting match in that you had, I believe, the battle of two married couples going on there. Let's see. Dolph Ziggler defeated Seth Rollins by a DQ. Let's see. Anything else? Paige defeated Summer Rae by a submission. Roman Reigns defeated Kane by countout. And the night opened up with Dean Ambrose defeating Luke Harper. So that all happened 10 years ago yesterday. And with that being said, I thank everybody for being here. Rick, if you can stick around for a couple minutes after the show here, I do thank everybody for being. Actually, before we do go, there's one more thing I believe I need to do. Rick, before we leave, would you like to share any links, promote anything? You know the shtick, right?
Well, I will share the link to my latest live stream, which was yesterday, where I was drawing up some of my book, Insecto #1. I'm at the point where I'm going through rounds, going to be going through what I will say round 3, so I'm making the drawing even better than what they are, but they're not that great, some of them. So
it looks like we got another character added to the Piperverse, huh?
Yeah, the Crossverse. Well, he's going to be the 4th character to Dubay. The next character to Dubay is going to be the Flame. After we put out Canadian Shield 3 and Snowdrift 2, then will come the Flame #1, and then after we do Canadian Shield.
Piperverse thus far, we have the Canadian Shield. We
and
have
Snowdrift that have been released, but I have lots of characters that I've created. I've got my, right now I'm slowly putting out my Justice League or Avengers characters, each of their individual stuff, and building up each comic. Like after I do put out Flame #1, we'll have Canadian Shield 4, Snowdrift 3, Flame 2, and then Insecto #1. So it's a bit off, but coming out, but that's why I'm starting it now. I can do it all myself and take some time at it, getting it really, really good. Drawing myself and upping my game as an artist.
All right. Well, with that said, thank you, Rick, for hanging out with me tonight. Thanks for. Did you enjoy the show?
Oh yeah, very much. I always enjoy these shows.
All right.
I don't watch them as much as I probably
should. Just get more people to watch them throughout, but I am still getting hours. I'm in terms of I'm now up over. Last time I checked, I'm up over 1,300 for the past 365 days. So steadily. So
Well,
people, even if
you're
they're not
doing better
watching
than
it
me.
live, they're coming back and watching it later. So that's good to
Yeah.
see.
You're doing better than me at the moment because I'm only between 500 and 600 hours over the last 365 days. So,
Well, with that, then plus I think part of it too is I'm doing more streams than you are too. I'm doing like 6 streams a week.
yeah, well, I'm doing well. It's debatable, but I'm trying to do 5, but I've been doing 2 for sure, maybe 3 for sure. But I've got 5 shows that I want to be doing a week, so it's.
Right. Well, with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. And of course, next week I'll have Apex on with me, and we'll be going over Street and Smith from April. We'll be going over the books from Street and Smith that went on sale from Street and Smith. That's like Shadow Comics, Doc Savage. I'll know more specific by the time we get to it next week. So with that, I thank everybody for being here, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.